Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to Season 4 of our Subscribers Game Tournament as we continue here in Round 2 and in our 5th match between our 5th seeded player Zero versus our 12th seeded player Ray in the red. And looking at their composition here, we have Zero picking a theme comp again. Full Bandit, we have Zhengjiang, Yan Baihu, and Yan Yu. So obviously Yan Yu is probably the reason why Zero picked this comp. He likes themes comp, showing off as our Season 1 champ. And in terms of how this themes comp work for this map, we have Yan Baihu, who thrives with this no vision gameplay, as he does have stock with a full retinue of cavalry unit. And then for Yan Yu, he's providing that stalker bonus, and he has picked a wide variety of infantry as well, a couple of range options, a couple of melee infantry, and a couple of polearm infantry. Then lastly, for Zhengjiang, she'll be going with her hidden axes, which are also stock. So a lot of this army is going to be quite invisible, even when they're not in the forest. Obviously, there's a bow secondary option here with more poison arrows, and she does have a dagger ability that she can throw out, perhaps from hiding in the forest and getting some unsuspected generals. Now, looking on the other side for Ray, we have a theme comp answer. I think both players maybe talked about this, or perhaps this is just pure coincidence, but we have the Sun family, Sun Jian, Sun Quan, and Sun Ce. So for unit, we have 2 Tiger Guards, which provide the guard passive, a couple Jian Swordsmen, and then 4 units of the Yellow Dragon. Pretty high premium, charge heavy, but glass cannon melee infantry there. And then on Sun Ce, we have those fast Raider Cav to work with his roar, as morale will be a factor here as Zero's army. I think all 3 generals are not unbreakable. So they could get to a certain point where the morales are low due to damage, and one roar could solve the general fight. So let's see how this one plays out on the battlefield. Now, as we load into game here, we can see that we have some crazy deployment, as Zero not only deployed to the side of Ray, he's actually behind Ray's initial deployment box, because this is where Zero should be spawning, and this is where Ray has set up his army. Pretty standard setup, generals in the front, we got all the units in the front with the infantry and the cavalry for support in the back, but we see the response here by Zero, putting his invisible cavalry in right behind the enemy, and then the other group is here supporting Yan Baihu. Then all the infantry also guerrilla deployed, and they're now kind of downhill. So this might be a problem in terms of charging, but they could sneak up behind the enemy, we'll see how that goes. Not all units are invisible here. Yan Yu's retinue will not be invisible, so they will probably blow the cover if they do move up. This is a relatively flat area of the map, but this is still pretty high ground compared to this. We'll see if they shift up and move. Essentially, we got the poison arrows here, and then more poison arrows behind by the hidden axes. The Yue tribesmen and these Yue remnant warriors are the ones who will expose this composition here. I think if I was creating this comp, I would have put the infantry on Yan Baihu and the cavalry on Yan Yu. Because usually, invisible cavs has its advantages, basically can hide from range, but you gotta pick out vulnerable targets. And I think in my opinion, if they were not invisible, you can use them to bait, and the infantry can be completely invisible and set traps. But that's just a very minor change. I think he wants them to support Yan Baihu in case Yan Baihu gets caught. But this map, as I mentioned before, with the elevation, it's actually kind of tough for Yan Baihu to find a good shot. Like right now, he kind of want to be here, but you don't know who's here, and you don't even see these units, so he can't really, we see them because we have vision of both sides, but they're basically hidden. And you can see this by the green view on the minimap. He doesn't actually see these units here. So where is Yan Baihu going to be shooting at? That's a tough question. What if you bump into a bunch of units, then you give up your surprise element here? So this map kind of neutralized Yan Baihu as good as it, as you might think, oh, you can't use any vision generals or units, but you can't see them regardless because of the trees. And for Ray, it's like, where the heck is the enemy? Let me scout very slowly with my generals and creep my infantry behind so they're not lagging too far behind. That's actually kind of nice. Oh, they found one, so they're going to try to just quickly take out one. Still risky, because you don't know if there's more around you, but that's a free kill, basically, on a Raider Cav. And then they realize, oh, Yanbaihu's behind me. You know the generals. You can just click duel, and you can see the list of 3 enemy generals. But this is still a quick hit. Not too much. They'll bounce back. Now everyone's flooding back, and they're trying to lead them to the trap, I guess. I guess this is the trap. They're not moving that group. So it's jumping. So if we look at the morale, 45 morale on Yanbaihu, 73 on Yanyu, and 73 on Zhengjiang. So Roar would actually rout Yanbaihu. That's going to be a problem. I don't think he'll use the Roar here. He probably wants a bigger target group. The other invisible cav are sneaking up, but much like the case where you don't know where to fire the poison volley, you finally get some vision of the enemy unit, but like, who are we charging here, really? They have to find another, like, Raider Cav alone, and the damage from 3 units plus 1 general was like 6 kills, which is just not that impressive. So they got exposed when they shot their arrows. Kind of know they're somewhere over here. We have Ray redeploying his army. Yeah, it's hard to see where Yanbaihu could get a good shot. I think another alternative way, if we really wanted to use Yanbaihu, is to fit him somewhere along these ridges. Because you can see this is impassable. They have to all come down here. So if you set your army up here, and then the enemy sees you and they click you, they would actually take this weird pathing this way. And if Yanbaihu's sitting here, maybe he can shoot across like a stack unit of unit, just like bad city pathing, and you can maybe hit them. I think that's a better way to use this terrain, to set up your range options behind an impassable area of the ridge. Like if they can be sitting here and the range might extend to here, it's tough because this is actually pretty far. Maybe a siege weapon would have been very interesting, but that's basically the other option you have, is to abuse these impassable ridges here on the back end. Still a feeling out process. No one can see nobody, which is kind of hilarious here. And both sides very careful, still trying to get the Tiger Guards in position to support the generals, and constantly seeking things out. So unbreakable generals over here for Sun Jian and Sun Quan. Sun Ce is breakable, but he does have a little bit of support from his brother, Nature's Ally, boosting him to 55 instead of 45. So we'll see what Yanbaihu can do here. Sun Ce apparently is standing out of vision. People see him. But what can Yanbaihu do at this point at Sun Ce? He's using his bow. 25k, let's see if he notices a hit. Oh, he does. He moves. Okay. So there's no sneaking there. And very good for Ray to pay attention. His army's all set up. And once again, these sneaky cavalry from behind, they can be useful once the infantry clash, in a sense. They can flank charge. I do wonder, when is Poison Volley going to even be a factor here? Alright, got the White Tiger Raiders moving up, perhaps to start spraying some poison to force the Yellow Dragons down. Now this is a pretty good downhill charge option. So there can be Nature's Ally. Obviously you don't know what else is here, but you noticed a couple of White Horse Raiders, or at least some sort of poison unit. It could also be Hidden Axes, but either case they wouldn't be very good against a cavalry charge, or yellow dragon charge would be kind of insane. And then they're boosted with Nature's Ally, and they're going to get boosted with Impetuous Charge. So we're going to have the increased charge speed, the 250 extra melee charge damage, plus the increased mass. And it'd be downhill into this. Alright, starting to see... I mean, they probably can't see these, which is why they're shooting at this unit who's fully exposed. Unfortunately, poison just is not going to do too much against cavalry. Pulling into vision. This is basically Firewall is on. Get a little bit intel here. Waste a couple arrows. You really can't hit generals. Nothing has hit so far. Oh, there we go. Finally got hit with something. The poison arrow is going to be very important because there is a suppression effect where you can actually eliminate a lot of their charge. It's not going to be as good as the poison volley one. The poison volley one really has a huge suppression on melee charge bonus. That would probably be very key to use it, although very hard to use uphill. Alright, we got the first move by Zero here. Creeping his units up a little bit. He still doesn't really know what he's up against. I don't think he ever caught much of a vision of the Yellow Dragon. Maybe a little bit when they were moving around. I doubt it though. Because if you're downhill, you can't actually see uphill. So I don't think he had vision of that. He's gonna peek. Oh, the cavalry got exposed. An immediate rapid response. Oh, impetuous charge used? I guess he doesn't know how many is here. So because they're bandits, they're just not going to have a lot of morale. They don't even need to use the roar, just land some damage and it should be a rout. They will bounce back though, I think, if they don't take too much damage. Oh, never mind, they took way too much damage here. This one's gone. Unyielding. They're just no good target, but at least now I think Zero knows exactly what he's up against. He sees the Yellow Dragons. He sees the Gen Sword Guards. You can probably guess Tiger Guards, you know, if not Handmaid Guard, which is not actually here. Anybody who's trying to sneak in here for a poison volley? Can he? It's very hard to pull off here just because you're in a... Oh, it's gonna get one. Nope, nope, nope. Time to leave. Did he take any damage off of that? 7k? Oof. Downhill charge of the Yellow Dragons. Lost 2k health on that charge. He's sending his cavalry up. They're overrunning this raiders. Morale is a problem. Here comes the downhill. But I don't think they have impetuous charge available, and so far we're not boosting with Nature's Ally yet. Let's see how we're responding. Hidden Axis moving to the side, but they're moving, they're not shooting their poison arrows. The other problem is once they do get into trees, the poison arrows can't find a target. Trying to get the Yue tribesmen up in front with a braced spear. They dragged one back, but there's not a lot of solutions against these guys. So I don't see... Okay, so we got the active ability for blocking the range. I don't see any charge bonus being given, but they have landed into the Hidden Axis, which can't stop generals either. And the rest of the army is coming down. Maybe we'll see a roar here. You just have to find... There we go. Good roar. Yamahu's surprisingly holding on after that. The charging bonus is sustaining him. They got the mending in. Oh... Yeah, it's falling off. It's falling off. Too many units around him routing. The lower quality bandit units are falling apart under the roar. And, you know, the charges of the... Oh, here comes Impetuous Charge being added for the second wave. I don't think these Hidden Axes is going to hold very much against these. Even the Tiger Guard is charging with 278. That's stronger than a lot of cavalry. And they're just running over Zero's comp, giving everyone unbreakable with the support abilities. And you see the Yamaha was ready routed, trying to bounce back, but we got enough units. It's going to crowd them. There's a second roar. Yep, there's a second roar coming, and now Zhengjiang's gone with the morale. Yanyu's gone with the morale, and I think it's over. Yep, morale damage. Downhill charge. Absolutely ran over Zero's comp. It was nice to see two theme comps face off here, and clearly one theme comp was much more well-rounded for this battle than the other. The Bandits it's kind of cute. There's a lot of little things that work well with the forest, but there's also things that kind of works against you, especially with Yan Baihu not being able to find any poison volleys. There's just no angle for it on this map, I think. You're bumping into invisibility yourself. If the enemy army is sitting on the open and you can, go in as a stock unit, there's advantages there, but if everyone's hidden, how are you going to find your target? And for Zhengjiang, I mean, her units, they're not very good against cavalry. They're not good against bracing, basically. And the units, they were the most premium ones with the hidden axes, but everyone else just have a lot lower morale. You can see many of the melee infantry and the units on Yanyu just didn't get any kills at all. Those spears solved a little bit of the cavalry problem early on, but once, the more premium Yellow Dragon came down, it was all over, and everyone just kind of got washed away. You can see one of the Yue Remnant Warriors had 0 kills and full health. Just means they got roared on and just routed right away. Sun Ce carried this match for sure, and his father and brother also did well. You get a bunch of boosts from Sun Quan, including a passive boost. We saw the active boost to block range. We saw the active boost to provide unbreakable, as well as 100% melee evasion. And then Sun Jian with the impetuous charge, we saw it used twice. Very high damage off of that. And of course, Flame the Phoenix availability on Sun Jian and being unbreakable also helps. And that was the match. We have another upset of our top seeds as this string of upsets continue, and another former champ goes down after King of Yan went down the previous match. So perhaps we'll see a new champ, but there's still one champ remaining in Will Be Deed. We'll see how he fares when his match comes up tomorrow. There's still one more match for today. The final group winner, our 6th seed in Beihai Butcher, is going to get a chance to turn the tide here in our next matchup. So I hope you guys are excited for that, and we'll see you all there. Bye!